Every ball you hit is out of bounds.
Thanks.
You have a new resolution in front of you because I failed to change the date that it was due. I started doing it for the first meeting in May, and then I didn't change the date that it was due, then we went to this one. So it's just got a new thing and a new 50-day cap. And that's the only difference. But I thought you should know. Section where it says it comes due on April 19th and then 50 days later.
Oh, no, it was.
You got that kind of time.
State law requires this body to announce at this time that a copy of the current Open Meetings Act is available at the back of the room where it is accessible to the public. Please.
Here.
Sisson.
Here.
McDermott.
Here.
Gibbons.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Thank you. You all please stand. A moment of silence followed by pledge of allegiance. Amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 1, consent agenda. Approve this agenda, pay the claims as submitted. Approve the treasurer's report for March 2022. Any questions? If not,
I'll make a motion to approve.
Mike Sisson,
I'll second
Larry
that.
Gibbons, seconds.
Marion Gibbons. McDermott.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Lees.
Yes.
Sisson.
Yes.
Thank you. Item 2, approve the minutes of the April 5th, 2022 regular council meeting. Corey Weiss. Nick Smith.
Sisson.
Yes.
McDermott.
Abstain.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Lees.
Yes.
Thank you. It is now time for the public forum. If anybody out in the public has any item that want to bring before the council, any item that is not on the agenda, now is the time and the place. Please approach the table.
I just stopped in myself to just, on that, I read the paper and I got some property that I own and I just seen it was in there under yard cleanup or something or another. I don't really understand. That's why I come here to really understand why it was printed in the paper on 149 Water Avenue.
What's your name?
Jerry Clements,
Okay.
and the property's under Crystal Wright and Jerry Clements. And it's on 149 Water Avenue. I know it's been elected for a while, but I went and got the taxes and everything, got caught up. I was planning on, painting stuff, this summer on the property, but I just wondered why my address was printed in the paper on, I just wondered, am I going to be charged for anything, or if I'm just kind of lost, on, because I thinking, it was under the cleanup thing there, and I seen they come by and did somebody come by and cut some volunteer stuff along the easement thing there, but I don't know if I was gonna be responsible for it, or if it's just listed, I don't know what.
This is an assessment that the city has done work on a property that wasn't addressed. I think he was property owners have been informed to need to clean it up. If it wasn't cleaned up, mowed, or picked up, whatever, looks like we didn't have a lot on your property there, $136.30. So
Am I
time
responsible for that, or,
you will be billed for that.
and I wasn't notified? Was I notified? Cause like I said, I own this property with my daughter, so some of the mail goes to her, you know, so I don't know if it was, anybody sent something to her, or,
Flip that over. Yours is the first one on the back. There's that lists the property address and the mailing address.
Okay. Are they gonna come by, since they come by and cut that out? Are they gonna come by and go ahead and grind the stump out then, or is it just gonna voluntarily grow up again?
Jim?
Cause
I
I
would
see
have
it
to
just
take a
cut
look at
along the ground there, is that volunteer stuff, you know? I could've did it myself, it ain't that big a deal, you know? But the stumps will grow up again if they're not grinded out, or if I don't, torque on them or something, but, you know, I'm just wondering, since I'm being charged, them coming by and cutting them out, are they gonna come by and remove the stump there and stuff too?
That's just for the trimming that was done. Stop me, Natalie, if I'm going wrong. That's just for the trimming that was done. You wanna pull the stumps, you wanna pour tort on, whatever you wanna do, whatever you gotta do.
This is just,
That's just for the work that the city has already done.
now,
And notification did go out ahead of time.
what kind of notification would I receive?
Typically in the mail.
It would have been a certified letter.
And it was not,
Well,
nobody got a certified one.
the certified letters go out to the address that is listed at the assessor's office, the treasurer's office, and if it's not picked up in so many
Why did
days.
they pick this particular one out of this, of town of Holdrege? Why did they just pick this particular place out and just trim some volunteer stuff that's in some hedges? Why did they do that? Pick that address out of,
Yeah, well, that's not the only address that.
no, there's a handful of them, but there's more than a hand. This is just what I wanna know, if I'm responsible for this horseplay or not. You know, I just know the city of Holdrege just don't want it,
Jerry, you should have
I'm done.
gotten notified.
my hands are washed on the city of Holdrege again, you guys win. I just mail this to this address, right? Huh?
That's fine. And also, you mentioned that you were down at the courthouse catching up taxes. Make sure that.
Yeah, they're caught up.
No, I'm not concerned about whether your taxes are paid. What I was gonna say is, make sure the courthouse has your correct mailing address on file.
There is, I
Okay.
get, well, they mail, when my taxes are due again, why
Okay.
can't I get them? I
Okay,
get them in the mail, why can't I
thank you,
get?
sir. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't though.
Okay. Anybody else? Public forum? No. Okay, I'm gonna close the public forum. Item 4, consider the second reading of ordinance 2456, amending the Holdrege Municipal Code Section 8-715 and adding Section 8-716 related to trees, permit required to plant trees in public right-of-way. We talked a little bit about that last week. Is there any changes, Kim, on that?
No, I don't believe, we haven't had any. We had a tree board meeting on Monday, and they did ask if anybody has been in for a permit, and I said at this point in time, no, because it still needs to go for 2 more readings. But they are gonna bring it up at their Arbor Day celebration, which is at the Tri-City or NRD, and they're gonna mention it, that we're gonna be asking for permits.
And what happens if somebody goes out, buys a tree, comes home, plants it? No locates called in, no permits?
That's why we have
Hey,
Natalie.
Okay, that's my question. Thank you. Dane, second reading.
Second reading, ordinance 2456. An ordinance to amend chapter 8, article 7, sections 8-715 and 8-716 of the Holdrege Municipal Code related to trees. Permit required to plant in the public right-of-way. To repeal all other ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith. To provide for the severability of all parts hereof. And to designate the time described when this ordinance shall be in effect. Be ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Holdrege, Nebraska.
Thank you. Motion to approve second reading.
So moved.
Mike Sisson,
Second.
Ben Johnson, seconds.
McDermott,
Yes.
Gibbon,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
and Sisson.
Yes.
Council's wish you to let this ride. We'll have the third reading, final reading in 2 weeks. Okay. Item 5, consider resolution 2022-03 amending the schedule of fees for the Prairie Hill Municipal Landfill.
I believe we got all the typos fixed and taken care of. The one question that arose last time was the state fee of $1.25 per ton. That already is included. If you noticed, Dane changed that and put that in the garbage and refuse, it includes state fee. It was listed separately, but it was already included. So that fee is already included. And once again, that fee is what we've got to pay to the state on a quarterly basis.
I had a question on that resolution, item C. All appliances, batteries, tires, batteries, you talking, not household batteries, but more vehicle batteries, car, truck batteries?
All batteries.
So, my flashlight batteries,
We have a separate place for them. All batteries.
okay?
They have them they have a separate box for them. Even your lithium batteries for your watches and stuff, we try and keep all the batteries separate.
I know at gas company, we had a pretty big bucket of batteries there for a while. Any other questions? Need a motion to approve resolution 2022-03.
Make a motion.
Nick Smith, second by Larry
Second.
Gibbons.
Weiss,
Yes.
Sisson,
Yes.
McDermott,
Yes.
Gibbon,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Motion carried. Item 6, consider request from the Heartland Cruisers to close 3rd Avenue from West Avenue to Grant Street for a car show on May 13th, 2022. Go ahead, Neil. Sisson. Oh, Mike Sisson.
Since I'm part of the Heartland Cruisers, Neil Gruen was the one that originally come to our council meeting a couple of meetings ago, and I guess he wasn't on the agenda, so now it is on the agenda. But I guess I just need to explain to everybody that what we're looking at is closing 3rd Street in front of Lost Way Brewery from West Avenue to Grant Street for a membership drive, small car show, what have you.
And that, you're just closing the south half of the street, is that correct?
No, it's gonna be all of 3rd Street.
Okay.
We've got permission from the businesses there to do that, and so I guess we just need approval to get it done and proceed with our.
They're bringing the rat rods in, I suppose?
Yeah, it's not gonna be a big show like Swedish Days, it's just gonna be a small one, just like a membership drive, you know, and then we're having, I think there's gonna be food trucks in front of Lost Way Brewery, and I don't know if you remember what Neil was talking about when he was here.
Yeah. Sounds like, should be a good time. Wind's not blowing.
Let's hope.
What time? The times, Mike?
If I remember correctly, let's see, the 13th, was that a
It's a Friday.
Friday? I was thinking it was gonna be like
5 to
5
8.
to 8, I believe, is what he was talking about.
Need the street department to block off the streets?
You know, I think Neil was talking about just see if we can get some cones down there to block both sides off, and
We'll block it off. I mean, we can block it off, you know, 4:45, and then they can move it, and we can pick the stuff up Monday morning. So,
Any other concerns? Motion to approve.
So moved.
Mary McDermott, Corey Weiss,
Gibbons,
Yes.
Johnson,
yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Sisson,
Yes.
McDermott.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 7, consider request from the Holdrege Animal Rescue for their Loop the Lake Dog and Jog event in the North Park on May 7th, 2022.
Evening. I'm Melissa Drain here on behalf of Holdrege Animal Rescue. I've got a map of the route that we're considering. It's in the park, so I didn't know if you guys wanted to pass those around or not. Basically, Saturday, May 7th, we're wanting to do a fundraiser, and we've done it in the past. It's just been several years since we've done it. We just use the big picnic area up at the park where we have a setup, and then we walk. Mostly it's just gonna be around the lake area. There's just one section where we're gonna be out on the sidewalk area south of the park there, walking around multiple times depending on how far people sign up that they're gonna go for the distance and everything. So setup wise, the event is 9. Usually it doesn't go past 10, but for setup wise, we probably need to be up there about 8 o'clock that morning to start getting things set up. We don't need anything from the city as far as cones or anything like that, just permission for using the area for the fundraiser.
This will be a fundraiser for the animal rescue
Yeah.
shelter.
Yeah.
We had some extra waste bags on hand in case our waste stations run out of bags. Good enough.
Any more questions or motion to approve?
So moved.
Mary McDermott,
Second. Mike.
make up your mind. Larry Gibbons,
Gibbons?
this time,
Okay, thank you.
don't let it happen again.
Gibbons,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Sisson,
Yes.
McDermott.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Drain.
Thank you.
Have a fun time.
I hope so, as long as the winds will blow.
Item 8, approve specifications and contract documents for a new and demo aerial fire truck.
Hello, hope you all enjoyed your reading.
Oh.
Really?
Welcome
Okay,
back.
thank you. The committee's been hard at it. They've got the specifications put together. We went through them again last night, made a few changes from the drafts that you got. One of those changes is, we'd like to open the bids on the 29th so that we can meet with the rural board, on May 2nd and then come back to the council on May 3rd.
Open the bids 29th of this month?
Right, on the Friday, the 29th. We talked to the dealers, they said a 7-day turnaround is not unheard of, and most of them wouldn't have any problems complying with it, so.
Really?
Or do you already have trucks sitting around
Yeah.
to
I mean,
your
There's
specification?
one that we know of that's sitting around, Rosenbauer has a demonstrator, that they've spec'd, but it won't be done in production till December of '23, I think was the date he quoted us. everything, if we end up buying a truck that we bid and get off the line, it will be 22 to 24 months out for delivery, just because of the supply chain issues and everything else. That's what they're telling us, so.
But you can get one earlier.
If there's a demonstrator that meets the specifications or that, we accept the exceptions on and there's one available, it would become available earlier than that.
60 to 90 days. But there's a long list of names on it, so.
Really?
We're just being diligent because we're in a position where we need to replace that truck, and so from a safety aspect and everything else, we wanna keep this project moving.
Right.
So,
Out of curiosity, with this day and age, if you get the bids back and approve them, will they hold that price till?
once we sign the agreement, that price will be contracted in.
And we don't, another thing is these trucks go on, you know, the shortage of the parts, there could be price increases, but they have to hold to that. So, and they're probably gonna throw some in there just anticipating
case.
that, so. We are kinda in a hurry for a couple other reasons. Interest rates, rural board will bond theirs. Interest rates are probably going to go up rather quickly. So we are kinda in a, I don't wanna say a hurry, but we are.
Right.
I know for a fact, one place that has a demonstrator is part of Sourcewell. If you choose to want to do something quicker, you can do that. The same places where you bought your sweeper and how you bought your sweeper last time. That's an option, but we're prepared to go to bids with 5 different companies, so.
This Sourcewell's already got one available, or?
Sourcewell, I need somebody to help, that's a buying group,
Correct.
correct?
They don't actually have product, they just allow you, you can forego the bidding process if you're a member of Sourcewell, which we are.
I don't know, that's just food for thought.
We don't know what the price is.
We'll have to bond part of that also, so we'll have to go through, pass an ordinance for the bonding and go through that process as well.
Recommendation.
What should be, I mean, what should be the better, if the guy bought it, or, I mean, or ordered it, or whatever you're thinking, on the Sourcewell or whatever? I guess I don't understand how that works.
They're just a bidding group, basically, they take bids and companies provide them with the information.
Yeah, our truck, some of you've seen it, it's
It's a peach.
unsafe. I mean, if we had to use it,
What?
It's a peach.
we will use it very carefully. I mean, if we had to, so that's Dallas's call. Leave it up to him, but you witnessed it, so sooner, I hate to wait 2 years,
Right.
but 90 days would be better, but that's a lot of money. So,
See what's out there on the market. Right now, we just need to approve the specifications, contract documents.
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
Mike Sisson seconds.
Weiss,
Yes.
Sisson,
Yes.
McDermott,
Yes.
Gibbon,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Thank you.
I didn't get all through the plans and specs.
I actually started reading it. I gave Dallas a hard time. I started reading it, and I'm like, how many pages is this? I just kept flipping my phone. I'm like, down,
129
click.
pages.
Oh, the hell.
Then I went through it, yeah, it was saying what tire pressure and tire size, and like, I went all out.
It's crazy they gotta do that.
Yeah, the NFPA dictates a lot of what goes into them
That's a
too,
lot
so-
of work in that, and you guys, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
What you list.
next item. Approve temporary ban on all open burning. think I recognize this guy.
Yeah, I just wanna talk to you guys about putting a temporary ban on outdoor fire pits in city limits. With the weather conditions we have, trying to reduce all possibilities of listening to the siren go off.
Windy and dry.
Yep, it's not an issue that happens just out of town, it's an issue in town too, so. This would just be a temporary deal, till the weather comes around and get a little rain.
Temporary deal
Um,
until further notice from the fire chief.
yes,
Till we get,
yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if we need to, I think we could just limit it to wood fireplaces, or whatever you wanna call them.
outside burning other than gas
Yeah,
grills
I think,
and
and they make a gas,
Propane
a propane fireplace, I think those are fine. We could treat those like a grill.
fire doesn't
But
jump
it's-
out of it.
Correct, it's
Yeah,
just
just
the,
the
it's the
sparks.
the wood is the issue, I mean, but,
Sparks, yeah.
Motion to approve?
Do we have to change the wording because
I will, I'll add that in there.
Okay.
Like a propane fire pit,
Okay.
gas.
Exception would be the attended outdoor gas.
and if it makes it easier for you just to make it all of them, I'll leave that up to you guys, but in my eyes, I think the propane fire pits are fine. It's just the wood ones that are.
Propane fire pit, natural gas fire pit, either way. The
Yeah.
fire's not jumping
No,
out.
you don't have the sparks
Fly
and
and,
the hot coals that don't get put out when people go inside for the
Right.
night.
What language exactly do we wanna add there? Attended outdoor gas or charcoal grills intended for cooking and natural gas / propane fire pits, all of which must be located at least 3 feet from a structure or combustible materials. Those words right there in the middle,
Yeah, that'll work.
propane, natural gas, fire pits. I would move to approve the temporary ban with the noted exceptions effective tomorrow.
Mayor McDermott makes the motion, second by
I'll second.
Nick Smith. I've already signed it.
Gibbons,
I do it.
Yes.
Johnson,
yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Sisson,
Yes.
McDermott.
Yes.
So I got a question now. Will this be put in the paper to be notified, or how do we?
I'll publish it.
Let's try to push this out on Facebook also for further reach.
Say Facebook, radio, everything you can.
It's hard to get a hold of the public. People don't all get the newspaper, people don't, Facebook, don't listen to radio. It's hard to inform the public.
Can't a notice be sent out with the water, some bill or something? Little blurb?
If it rains though, that's only downfall is the bill goes out at the end of the month. We want it in effect now.
Not everyone gets a paper bill anymore either, a lot of them are
Effective
electronic.
immediately.
Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Thanks, Dallas.
Yeah, too many fires.
Okay, the gentleman left here already, but we're going to have item 10. Open a public hearing allowing members of the Holdrege City Council to sit as a Board of Equalization to determine special assessments for remediation of weed and litter violations. I don't think anybody else is here to complain about it. I had a phone call from one lady who wanting people to stop putting stuff in their yard. And it's been in their yard for a couple of years since the city cleaned it up the last time, so. But she's been notified and did have a nice conversation over at Pump Pantry with her and her husband about it, so. Not a problem. If not, I will close the public hearing. Item 10, approve approve resolution 2022-04, approving the special assessments of properties for costs associated with remediation of weed and litter violation in said tracts or lots or tracts of land. Motion to
Are
approve.
these, I'm assuming most of these that we ended up taking care of was because of no contact? Nobody
Or
responded to
complaints.
it?
Either the police have seen some violation or people have complained about these properties, and we should have a lot more properties on this list for people to clean up. We normally send a letter to them. You have so many days to clean up, and if not,
And they got a sign for the letter though, right?
they should have.
They would, a certified letter would go out to the property owner, and they would have to obviously sign for the certified letter. If they don't pick up the certified letter, the ordinance allows us to turn it over to the city and have it taken care of, so.
I have a question, but are we recouping our time and labor?
Yes. Yes, once the letter's been taken care of, as Mitch stated, it comes back to the municipal services. I create a work order, the work order's done by the employees, and there's a fine, and then there's time and material on, or equipment and labor, I'm sorry, equipment and labor that's included in these fees.
But that one property, I saw the city, they had a lot of equipment and a lot of manpower cleaning it up, but I'd like to check and see if those assessments have been paid. So, motion to approve resolution 2022-04.
So moved.
Mary McDermott,
Second.
Mike Sisson,
Gibbons,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Sisson,
Yes.
McDermott.
Yes.
Okay. Item 12. Consider C-PACE assessment contract with Greenworks Lending LLC and Christopher Hayden LLC for improvements to the Dale Hotel. I think you have the information in your packet. This Greenworks they've done some other work for these people who are working at the Dale Hotel. This kind of benefits the hotel, so they get a little something back for their work. And they're doing, it lists all the work that they're doing on it. Do you have any more input, Ron, on Greenworks?
I talked to the, one of the owners this week. They're not here tonight because they had an illness in the family, but PACE, we introduced the company to Greenworks Lending in Denver. Greenworks, you may recall, refinanced portions of the Cobblestone Hotel using this program. It's a mechanism to stretch out the payments on a property assessment basis. There's no liability to the city. We've worked with the company to improve the hotel into residential units, and they're making a tremendous investment. Going to be filling a void that's bad of housing that we badly need in the community. So I'd encourage you to give it your positive consideration, and there's no liability to the city for your acting as a pass-through agent, basically.
Thanks, Ron.
Yeah, I don't have any concerns with the contract. That, like Ron said, this is what we did with the Cobblestone. It's the same procedure. There's really no liability to the city, so I don't have any concerns with it.
I think with Cobblestone, we had to go back and approved the Greenworks after the cobblestone was built, didn't we?
They did some retroactive financing to pull in improvements that have already been made, but I think that's also the case with this project. They're pulling in some improvements that they've already made into this that qualify. Most importantly, they're adding an elevator as part of this package so that it will be more easy to rent sixth and fifth floor apartments. Don't know about you, but going up 6 flights of stairs would be a little.
It felt like staying in the Cornhusker.
What's the timeline on having some of those apartments ready to rent? I see
They
there's some
should be,
windows.
ready to rent by the end of June,
Some of them or all of them?
all of them.
Have they started end of June is coming up, have they started their pre-leasing yet?
I can't tell you that, I just don't know. I walk through on a regular basis. They've had trouble getting some supplies and things, like other people. They're getting another shipment of the laminate flooring that's going down. I think it's supposed to arrive this week, and they'll be able to complete all of the flooring, the new flooring. And also the new windows, they've been back ordered, so I think now that the weather's better, they're gonna start replacing all of the windows.
What do they have done for windows, like the second floor is done?
I think that's all they've got done so far.
They anticipate having the rest of them in before June?
Our agreement with them does not require them to have the windows completed by June, but the apartments have to be ready to rent by the end of June.
Thank you for the information.
How many apartments are there in?
There will be a total of 33. One of the apartments is occupied by the on-site manager, so 32 for rent.
Are they double or 2-bed, 3-bed, you know?
They vary from efficiency studio type. There are a few of those. There are several 1-bedroom, several 2-bedroom, and then one, I think, 3-bedroom unit, which I think the on-site manager is in that one.
Yeah, thanks.
They will meet a need in Holdrege, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Any more questions or concerns? If not, motion to approve the contract.
I'll make that motion.
Mike Sisson makes the motion.
I'll second it.
Larry Gibbons.
McDermott,
Yes.
Gibbon,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Sisson.
Yes.
Thanks, Ron. Open discussion. Mr. Richter.
Speaking of the Hotel Dale, the dumpster is gone in front of the building,
Saw
in the
that.
parking lot behind, so that has been taken care of. We will be doing interviews for the chief candidates on Thursday afternoon, so if any of you would like to stop in and watch or be involved with those. Start at 1:30.
How many people are you interviewing?
3 candidates. 1:30, 2:30, and 3:30 are the interview times.
Well, speaking of roll-off dumpsters, you mentioned a little bit about residential
Yeah, I can.
dumpsters, maybe having people get a permit for
Yes, they have to go through
dumpsters
Kim
on
now,
the
so they
street.
park anything on the street. They have a form that we've put together, so they have to apply for approval, to park a dumpster on the street now.
Is that just going forward, or does that count the ones that are already sitting out?
I think they're going forward on everything right now, but most of the ones that have been sitting out, we picked up in a short amount of time. The ones at the movie theater are gone, the Dale is gone. The one up here on East is supposed to be moved again, so.
Yeah, when they have them there and they leave them and leave them, and then during the winter, we have snow emergency routes, and you can't hardly get around them in the snow emergency, and that is a snow emergency route. So we need to do something, so they don't get one and just, they need to be busy and use the dumpsters and get rid of them.
How long will the permit be good for?
There's a specific line to let us know how long they'd like to have it there.
Is there a cap on?
That's up to us to decide. We can say, no, you're not gonna have it more than a week or 2 weeks or 15 days, whatever it is, we decide.
Depending on the scope of the work.
Right, scope of the work on the street that it's on.
Yeah, and depends where it's at.
Yeah, if there's some variables that come into play.
Good.
If someone's got it out on the street and, you know, if it ever snows in this town ever again, would they be able to relocate it, like to the back of their property, on the alley?
If they've got room, that's where they did have the one up here on the east, they had it behind the house. They changed providers and now it's back out into the street. So,
And if somebody would hit it, they're on a bicycle, don't see it at night, or they hit it in the car, who's gonna be responsible, the property owner?
by law, they should have some type of reflective material on that that's gonna be in the street.
It
That's
just
by
went on
statute.
East Avenue certainly does not.
So if you can't get a permit approved to put it out front of the house on the street, and you wanna put it at the back of the property, maybe, you know, hanging over to the alley by a couple feet, you want a permit on that too?
It cannot be in the alley, it's a 20-foot right of way. There would be no room for the garbage trucks to go through.
Okay.
They'd have to make sure it's tucked in on private property.
100% on property, okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
Thanks for working on that. We need to put a little change on those roll-offs.
That's all I've got.
Dane,
You'll notice you all have iPads. If you wanna stay after the meeting, I'll touch base with how they're set up for you, and obviously you're welcome to change that. But anyway, if you wanna hang out after the meeting, we'll go over it. If you feel comfortable going home and having at it, that's fine too. That's all I have.
Sergeant,
Our police trainee, Quintana, has been accepted to the training center.
good.
He starts May 1. So
And you guys can't do any FTO before then, can you?
that is correct, we cannot.
With the new,
So,
our legislature's looking out after us.
yes. So he's been doing some ride around. He can't have any contact with the public, but he can ride around and observe. So he's been a sponge for several weeks and learning by osmosis, so it's the best we can do right now.
It's nice to have, no offense, some younger people.
He's young.
In our community, we have both, younger people and, well, that's good to hear. Thanks, Mitch. Mr. Johnson?
I have nothing.
Mr. Smith?
Nothing.
Mr. Weeks?
Nothing.
Nope, nothing from me.
You've already said enough, thank you. Ms. McDermott?
Nothing, thank you.
And Mr. Gibbons?
Nothing.
Natalie?
Nothing from me.
We have some campers on the street over the winter. My understanding, our ordinance didn't have, we couldn't enforce the campers over the winter or something. Is that right? Are we changing that ordinance so there's a time limit, October, so we should get the campers off the street, campers and trailers?
I don't think there's anything in our ordinance right now about seasonal. I think there's just a limit for how long they can be parked in one spot before they're moved.
We do an ordinance that says November 1st.
We did.
Yeah, November 1st,
So I remember what the end date was. They
April.
have to
I
be
think it's
off.
into April.
Yeah.
yeah, either 1st of April, 1st of May, so.
Boats,
So it used to be
campers, trailers.
October 1st, and we amended it,
Yeah.
To November.
but I don't know what the,
Yeah, there's been a camper up Manor Drive for
Day or two.
all winter.
we'll review that ordinance. I guess I didn't know there was an issue with it.
Okay. Anything else, Natalie?
Nope, nothing.
Kim?
Nothing, sir.
East Street, when they starting on that?
Hopefully next week.
Finish?
Yeah, well, since it's not gonna rain, I'd like to think they'd be done in a month, but, or 5 to 6 weeks. I know Brian's gotta go move 4 utility poles, by,
I think they're moved.
are they?
Yeah.
Need to have them moved by Wednesday today, and then, or Wednesday this week, and then they'll hopefully look for them next week.
Oh, awesome. Back to Natalie, 1317 6th Avenue, Mr. Hayes.
I can touch base with him again. I had some conversations with him several months ago, and he was supposed to be working on the property, but I've not heard anything
If we
since.
can push a little, so we can see some progress.
Okay.
What's it been, 3 years on the fire or
13,
something like that?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Thank
That's
you.
1317-6.
Correct.
Yeah.
I've got you in the hot seat, Natalie. I've been getting some concerns from parents and teachers on some of the signs hanging around town, the big F words and stuff, about political signs, and there's nothing that we can do. You know,
Correct, as long as
We
they're.
don't have, we can't burn them yet.
As long as they're just displayed on private property and they're not flags that are threatening or anything like that, I don't know that there's anything that we as a city can do.
I keep hearing people, can't we do something? Legally,
I missed what you said. I could put a sign with profanity out in my front yard and you can't do anything about
you
it?
won't be the only one in Holdrege, Alaska.
Okay. I have big ideas, man.
We have a lot of people who's very interested in the right thing to do for their kids, and they don't like seeing this stuff around the community. But I can't help them. Sorry to say, but a lot of people are not happy with that. That's the way it is, but, yeah. But I know you're not that type of person, I don't think.
Thank you. So I am the type of person that cares what children are seeing and reading, and that
Yeah.
cares what impression visitors to our town or potential residents to our town see. They can point
And the
that out.
teachers are hearing some of this stuff, elementary and the middle school. Yeah, that's too bad. Mr. Brinkman,
I don't have anything. We got the poles pulled. There's a couple lights we took down, but as soon as that project's done, we'll get them back up and going.
you got the Mount Calvary pole
That was
replaced?
done yesterday, yeah.
See, they had to crew up.
Yeah, they worked with us on a lengthy outage, so it worked great. They're
Awesome.
done.
Thank you. Mary?
Nothing.
Nothing else. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you. People want to stick around. I don't run. Do I need that?
Okay, so 3 to 4, a lot of the members, city board